Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Enfys Tarot. It is Monday, January 27th, 2025. Usually I'm doing Earth Magic Mondays on Mondays, but I came across this tarot deck that I purchased, I don't even know how long ago, years ago, and haven't ever used. And I came across it by accident. And then I discovered that it is, we have a new moon in Aquarius this week. And I thought that it was apt for me to use this tarot deck today, the Aquarian Tarot. I purchased because I just thought the cards were so beautiful. And, let's go ahead, instead of doing an Earth Magic Monday, let's do a new moon, an Aquarius reading, and find out what we all need to be doing this week to prepare, to get ready, to fully harness this creative energy that's coming through. So let's go ahead and do that. Let me pull some cards. What do we need to know today for this new moon in Aquarius? Letting go of past heartbreak, letting go of the things that bring you pain. It's more than just stepping past the heartbreak or jumping over the heartbreak. It's really looking at the things in your life that cause you stress, that cause you problems, that create discord and issues and things that are uncomfortable that you really don't need, and let them go. Let them go. Let them fall away. Page of Swords coming in reverse here. It's again, I'm getting the sense of things that we've learned over time, those things, those habits that we think are true, that we think are right, that we don't realize, like, it's the stuff that we don't know, which can be tricky to navigate, but maybe it's time to do like an all over sort of emotional, spiritual cleanse, a mental cleanse. The swords are always talking about things that have to do with beliefs and thoughts and cognition, intellect, and so when the Page of Swords is coming in reverse like this, it's letting go of some of those beliefs that you picked up at some point, you learned them along the way, and now you're like, maybe I need to look in a different direction. The Knight of Swords coming in next, also in reverse. So many swords. A lot of people really kind of tied up in their thoughts and beliefs, and it's time to make some changes there. The Knight of Swords coming in reverse can say, okay, slow down, don't rush into anything, don't be hasty. It can also indicate that you're not headed in the right direction, you're not thinking things clearly, you're not acting on your thoughts in a way that makes a lot of sense, because maybe your thoughts are in the wrong arena. So I'm feeling very strongly with all three of these swords here that this week is going to be a big, big week for changing our minds. And then we've got the Nine of Cups coming in reverse. I feel like this is, even that card really bolstered this reading, because when the Nine of Cups comes in upright, and this is a beautiful card, I'm going to hold this card up so you can see it. When the Nine of Cups is upright, it really has to do with feeling satisfied, having your accomplishments laid out in front of you, and feeling that pride and satisfaction of ownership and accomplishment, and really, really feeling content, and also sort of protecting those accomplishments and achievements, right? And when it's in reverse, sometimes it can be about dissatisfaction, about not being very happy about where you've brought yourself. Sometimes it can be about having to let some things go, even when you feel like they're bringing you something positive in your life. Having to let those things go. And what I'm hearing come through today with these cards is that there are things in our life that we think are good. We think they are important. We think we're supposed to hold on to them and protect them. And if we knew what we don't know, we would understand that those are the blind spots that are blocking us from real connection and real satisfaction and real happiness. So perhaps we need to be taking a look around and considering everything. So how do we find those bits and pieces? Eight of Swords in reverse. Yeah, this is false self-imprisonment. Letting go. We have really got to start letting go this week of the thoughts and beliefs that are holding us back. But how do we do that? Seven of Pentacles in reverse. You know, this can be about that sort of dissatisfaction. This can be about reassessing, and that was in reverse. This can certainly be about taking a gander. There's a goose in here, so it's prompting me to say take a gander and figure out what weeds to pull. Do we want to continue fertilizing this earth that we've been plowing all this time? Or do we need to till everything up and, you know, let that space rest a little bit and move on? Here they call them rods. 9 of Rods in reverse. That's the 9 of Wands in reverse. So this is like that card where you're really taking pause and deciding whether or not you need to continue along this path. When the 9 of Wands is upright, you've got the feeling of taking pause and looking at all of the ways in which you've arrived at where you are, and you're taking a breath, and then you're stepping back in because the end is near and you're about to complete something and you just have a little bit further to go. When it's in reverse, sometimes it can really be saying, you know, you're taking pause right now and maybe you shouldn't re-enter that. Maybe you need to be taking this breath and then focusing your energy in another direction. Then we have the 5 of Cups in reverse. And this is the disappointment card. This is getting over the disappointments. I mean, we're getting such a loud, clear, it's like all of the cards that can be telling us it's time to walk away from the things that don't work. They're all coming up. And I think that one of the biggest challenges that we are all going to be faced with is figuring out what isn't working. How do we know what isn't working if we kind of were born into an environment and we've learned things slowly along the way? It's very difficult to find the contrast and understand sometimes what it is that isn't working. How do we figure out what isn't working? That's what we really need. 5 of Pentacles, maybe, and this is in reverse as well. There's every single card that I have pulled, and mind you, I began shuffling this deck a good 10 minutes before we started, okay? And I really shuffled them because this is a new deck for me. They're still all in reverse. This is giving me big time switcheroo energy. Like, it is time to go from here to here. And it's funny, actually, now that we're talking about this, I play Wordle every morning with my husband, and I'm not going to give away the word in case any of my viewers also play Wordle, but it was a new word for me, and I needed to actually look up the definition of it to be like, when is that word used? And it's used here. It's about switching things from one path to another by pushing or pulling, and it's a word that I don't ever use, and I haven't really ever heard anyone use it, but it's like finding a new path and then diverting the energy, which is what is coming up in this reading. It's everything being switched over into a new direction. This 5 of Pentacles in reverse, and I'll hold this up for you too. This is, if you're not familiar with the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, this is similar in appearance, where you have these two people standing outside of the church and their heads are down and it's cold outside and they're feeling pretty isolated, pretty, they're feeling scarcity. They're feeling lack. They're feeling like rock bottom. You know, it's that kind of feeling. And when this is in reverse, it's like, okay, there might be an opportunity to step out of that. There might be a way forward. There's a new energy coming in. Wow. After all of these cards, can you guys see the spread? I've mentioned before that I'm an intuitive reader, right? I do not use prescribed spreads. I allow the cards to come out as they come out, and today this is the way they're coming out, right? We've had all of these minor arcana cards all in reverse, and now the bottom of this is the Chariot in reverse. So there is some really important decision making that needs to occur, and it has to do with which way we're going to let our energy move us, okay? And it's really like pivotal. It's very, I mean, this is a triangle, right? It's on a point, and so it can pivot, and everything is in reverse here. So really look at your life this week and really see with clear perspective, with no blinders on, what areas of your life are bringing you joy and excitement and connection and love, and what areas of your life are bringing you anything less than that. And maybe that's where we need to start. Can we get a card to help us understand if that is what's needed, or if there's some more information that we can use to figure out how to navigate this? Because this is like big crossroad energy here. Entering into the age of Aquarius, we're all going to be creating. We're going to be co-conspiring with the universe. We're going to be co-creating, right? And the universe wants us to create beautiful things because it's the universe. And we need to figure out how to go about doing that. And we keep hitting, no matter who you are, I'm certain that you have your own stumbling blocks that you keep on kind of running into, just like I do. We all have our own stumbling blocks. And often it's like they're invisible, they're ghosts. We don't understand what we're stumbling over. Like, why does it seem so hard to do this? Or why does it seem like things always happen that screw things up? Or it's our own like weird glass ceiling that sort of pops up and we feel like it's totally sporadic, and you know, we don't know how to navigate with that. You know, there must be a reason, right? I mean, this whole existence is based on patterns and synchronicities, and as above, so below, and everything around us has its way. So we must have a way. We must be doing things a way. So what way is that? And how can we clear that up? Three of Pentacles. Well, okay. Here's a card about co-conspiring. Maybe the first thing that we need to do is find our stable footing and then be creative with the universe. The Three of Pentacles card is that card in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck where you've got people in a church and they're all working together to, you know, accomplish a common goal, right? And it's usually a creative endeavor. So so it's you, the universe, or God, or whomever you look to as a higher power. It's you, your higher power. And who is the third pentacle? Like, is that a tribe? Is that your team? Are those people? Is it your ancestors, your spirit guides? Like, there's a team that's needed in order to do what we're trying to do here. I really want you to be able to see the cards. What's next? King of Cups, navigating the emotional landscape of a situation, really listening to our emotions, really understanding them. You know, I've worked with a lot of really amazing people in my life who are very good at practicing and navigating what our sensations are actually telling us, you know. So like some people can do, you know, the thing where you kind of hold your fingers like this, and if it's a yes, your fingers come closer together. If it's a no, they fall apart. Same thing with like your arm. Like if you push down your arm, if the answer is a yes, then you release and it comes up. And if you push down your arm and the answer is a no, your arm falls down. Maybe it's time to start dabbling with a little bit of those things and figure out what your sensations that you're experiencing are actually telling you, and figuring out how to listen to those. All right. So that's certainly, and look, now we've got 3 cards already, and these are all upright, which I think is pretty spectacular. Then you've got the 5 of rods, which is like the 5 of wands. And this is the conflict card, allowing there to be some conflict. You know, I mean, maybe it's not just about saying, okay, see ya, like, peace out. Like maybe getting through some of the conflict, some of the adversity is needed in order to weed through the garden and figure out what still stands. And then we have the Ace of Rods, the Ace of Wands. Yeah, this is the thumbs up. So there's our directive, guys. Finding your tribe, finding your team, co-conspiring with yourself, the universe, and your third, whoever that third is for you. Maybe it's a partner, maybe they're people, you know, an organization or something you want to join, a collective, or it could be listening to your spirit guides and your ancestors. Like figure out who that third party is in your trifecta of creative endeavors. Really learn to navigate your sensations, your experiences, and figure out what they're telling you. A lot of intuitives rely on the physical sensations that they experience at any given moment. It's why some people, you know, they can walk into a room. I mean, most people can walk into a room and without hearing conversation, pick up on the tone, the sensation of the group of people who are in there. Most people can walk into a room and without hearing or saying one single word, have a feeling, and they understand what kind of environment they're entering themselves into. That's the kind of thing that you want to get really, really good at, because that's going to be your cue. That's going to be helpful in your yes this way or no, not that way. Okay? So pay attention as you are looking at your life and trying to peel the blinders off. Listen to those and see what they're telling you. All right? And then allow the conflict. There's going to be conflict. There's going to be stuff that you don't feel good about, because change is hard. Change is scary sometimes. Change is usually at least inconvenient, if nothing else. You know, usually change requires a little bit of redirection, refocus, pivoting, and that can cause conflict, and it can cause conflict with people in our lives. It can cause conflict with ourselves internally. It can cause conflict with our environment. If we're making changes and we've always done things a certain way, and all of a sudden we start changing things because now we're listening to the sensations that our bodies are creating to send us the messages we need to be hearing, and we're no longer blocking those out, things are gonna happen. And if you're not reacting or acting in situations the same way you always have, the environment around you is all of a sudden not going to know how to react to you, and that could cause some conflict. But it's a-okay. This is the Ace of Wands, and in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, remember, it's that big thumbs up holding the wand, like, yeah, this is it. Keep going. New ideas, new opportunities, new way. And it's that bippity boppity boo, you know, like the fairy godmother, like, here, let's do this. So that's the big card for the universe saying, yeah, I'm all in. You know, your higher power is sending the Ace of Rods today, being like, it's the new moon in Aquarius on Wednesday. I'm all in. What would you like to create together? How can we make this a more beautiful place? What awesome things can we do together? So you're being invited. We are being invited to do that. I hope this ends up reaching all of the people who will benefit from hearing this. I thank you, whoever is on here today, so much. It's a little longer than usual. It's about 20-minute video today, but I think the message was very well worth it. And I'm really hoping that this stays with you and stays with me, and we don't just sort of stop listening to the video and then switch over to something else and forget this. Let it percolate. All right. Thank you guys again. If you haven't already, please like, subscribe, share, and I will see you tomorrow for True Intentions Tuesdays. Take care.